Hey guys, Richard with Brotherhood Reviews, and we're back talking about One Piece, and I want to discuss Garp going to Hachinosu to meet up with Blackbeard and to get Kobe back. And I want to give my thoughts on what this means to the series as a whole. Now, with everybody knowing and thinking that probably Blackbeard may not have the strength he used to take on a Yonko due to what Rayleigh said after him stepping in when Blackbeard was trying to kidnap Boa, and well, not kidnap Boa, but steal Boa's powers. And Rayleigh explained that he doesn't know if he has the strength to take on a Yonko at his age and level right now. But there is one key difference between Rayleigh and Garp. The one big difference is Garp used to go against his captain, and his captain is definitely stronger than he is. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean Rayleigh is a pushover even in his old age. We saw the respect and we saw what he can do when he saved Luffy pre-time skip. Nobody really wants to go against Rayleigh, and he has proven himself time and time again why. And now Garp is just a different story, because Garp is still active in the military, and not only that, he is the trainer. Like, they go through his training to become a Marine, and then he chooses obviously certain ones to become his specific subordinates because he has pick of the litter. Now Garp is going to be entering a scene where a battle is already taking place. Now, depending on how long it takes Garp to get there, because depending on how much time has passed since the fight has begun, and Helmeppo, because we saw from the beginning of this arc that Helmeppo's been trying to get help to go save Kobe to begin with. Now, depending on how long Garp and them take to get there, and we know these islands are fairly close to each other, so it shouldn't take that long. But depending on who else goes with them to fight, and they get all that situated, we'll see. We really want to see how far along the Kid and Blackbeard fight is going to be, because it seemed like Law was pulling out some of his bigger moves way earlier than he ever did, especially when he was fighting Big Mom, who would seem to be technically a worse threat than Blackbeard. But Blackbeard is, I guess it would be more so that Blackbeard is more unpredictable, so it would be smarter to bring out the big guns in order to get them all disoriented, which is a better battle strategy in itself. But that's just my opinion on it. But the whole battle, I want to see how far along it's going to be going. I want to see if we're going to get another clip of the fight before Garp gets there. And also, I want to see if Garp is going to just focus on getting Kobe, or is he going to try and choose a side. And if he does choose a side, he's most likely going to choose Law's side. But it would be interesting to see how the tides will turn, because this also comes into effect with the fact that he went directly to the sword's base to pick up Helmeppo. So therefore, this kind of confirms for a lot of the Garp is head of sword theories that they pretty much work, like they all work for him essentially. Now, we know Sword is technically working for the government against the government, for the government against the Celestial Dragons, I would I would put it better. And with that, they're trying to find a way to keep the government with, essentially it seems like they're trying to keep the government but put in better systems to where they can eradicate a lot of the wrongdoings and the divide of everything. But that's not even about this video. But yeah, so it seems like everything is tying together to like how Garp is really essentially not on the side of the actual government, but he is on the side of the government. But he's still that, it's more of like a manifestation of the D-Clan in him, where he has to find a way to get pure justice. Blackbeard, let's talk about Blackbeard and Law. I hope we get another couple panels of the Law and Blackbeard fight, essentially more so we can see Blackbeard's crew members fight more, because we have seen Jesus Burgess fight, and we obviously know how other of them, their fighting styles essentially, but we never really saw a good enough of their repertoire to really see what they can fully do. Now, like I was saying before, it seemed like Law pulled out a lot of his big guns early, but it seemed like he really just wanted to get away, and that's pretty much essentially why he was pulling out most of his big guns. And Blackbeard is a top tier threat, so it only makes sense for him to go all out if need be. We do get a couple good attacks when, who is it, not Van Augur, Doc Q used his sick fruit and sent out a virus and made them change genders. So it was a unique way where he used his fruit, where it's like, okay, well, it's definitely disoriented his whole crew, because everybody was the opposite sex. They were confused, they didn't know what was going on, plus a whole array of different emotions that they've never felt before going through their body. It was a great attack, and it was a great way to expand Blackbeard's crew, and shows that, like, okay, yeah, Blackbeard's goal of having a full 100% devil fruit crew is successful. Now, the biggest question right now is, does everybody have one devil fruit power or two? Because one of the things that was floating around is that Jesus Burgess has had his fruit the whole time, and the fact that during Dressrosa, when he was trying to get the Mara no Mi, that he was trying to get it because he was trying to get his second devil fruit. So there's that. So I kind of want to, like, I hope they explain whether or not they pretty much had their devil fruit the whole time, or if they got it during the time skip and things of that nature, or in between, like Dressrosa and now, because they were like between Whole Cake, well, Punk Hazard all the way up into Wano. That's like I believe like a 4 or 5 month span in the One Piece world that they took up doing that arc. So we'll see what happens in the grander scheme, if Oda even decides to explain to us in the manga or in SBS whether or not that his crews always had their fruits. Well, we know some people, we know they had to get their fruits, they had to go get their fruits, so we know that. But other than that, it's my opinion, and I think my thoughts of how the Blackbeard and Law fight is going about right now. I think Law is losing. Law is losing, and one of the reasons is because, as everybody knows, Blackbeard has been being talked up as being the big bad. And I'm not going to sit here and say like Blackbeard's demolishing Law, and I don't think, because I definitely don't think that's happening, but I think it is not looking good for Law, and it's not traumatically out of Law's reach. But I think Law is going to be on that verge of like, no, I'm about to lose this fight and I don't know what I'm going to do next. And then I think Garp is going to pull up and pretty much save the day. With Garp pulling up, it's really going to give Law an opportunity to fight back, incapacitate as the rest of his crew, while Garp fights, pretty much takes over the fight against Blackbeard, and then essentially Garp is going to allow Law to leave, because he's going to be like, listen, like, I came here for Kobe, you helped me get Kobe, so just hurry up and get out of here before while we regroup our men, or whatever. And I think that's pretty much what's going to happen between that. But what's really going to be the outcome is what happens during the Law and Garp fight, because I don't think that Oda is going to put a fight like Garp and Blackbeard in our face like that and off screen it. Especially right now, it's crunch time, and especially what he said, and I've been saying this for a while, even though he said this is the last saga, this is going to take at least 5 years. This last arc took 4, or you know what I mean, 3 or 4. So this next arc is gonna at least take 5, and I've been telling people a lot, it makes more sense for Oda to do something smart, like end One Piece on its 30th year, you know what I mean? So in 5 years we'll have 30 years of One Piece. It ends on its 30th year. If we can plan it like that, if he can plan it like that, it would make the most sense. But that's not why we're on this video. But yeah, with everything the way it's going, I also believe that this is going to determine which side Sword's gonna fight on during the last arc as well, because during the Blackbeard and Garp fight that we should see is going to hopefully give us some flashbacks and some underlining information on Blackbeard. If not Blackbeard, we need something on Garp during God Valley, or we need to see like an actual backstory from Blackbeard, like an in-depth, like, who is this guy? Because we only know like he's an orphan that Whitebeard picked up, because Whitebeard is just a sucker for strays. Now, what's more than that, why can't he sleep? Where did Whitebeard find him at? What's up with him? Why does he look like that? Who, you know, there's a plethora of questions that are still unanswered from this guy, and I think during this fight and he's gonna have a lot more prevalence, and we're gonna see a lot more of what he can actually do. But that's all I have for you guys. That's my thoughts on this, and I hope you guys have a good day, time, night, whenever you guys are listening to this. Thank you.